Guys, so something that's been brought to my attention lately that didn't really occur to me before, and apparently it's like just a big part of my fandoms and the things that I like and whatnot, and kind of molds the way that I act and view these things, is that apparently I can't just like something, I have to completely obsess over it. And when this was brought to my attention, it made complete sense because I don't just like something, I let it completely take over my life. It's not just, oh, I like it, I watch it every once in a while. No, it's I start to like the thing and then it's just only that thing for months and I don't care about anything else. I can't be away from my phone for too long because I need to be looking up things about this thing. To make more sense, let's use an example. Supernatural. I started watching Supernatural when it premiered on the CW, but I think it was called the WB back then or something. I started watching it back then. And I liked it. I've always liked it. I watched it over the years. It was fine. But within the last, I'd say, 2 years, I've become obsessed. And when I say obsessed, I mean I'll watch the show and then I'll go on Tumblr and I'll look at all the gifs of the show and all the fan theories of what was going on in the show. And I feel like that's pretty normal. But then I go from there to YouTube videos and I will look up all of the conventions, all of the other things they do on the side and watch hours of those. And I'll go through each actor's panel and watch every single one of those. Even the actors that I don't really care about, go through and watch those. And then I take it another step further into reading fan fiction and shipping. With Supernatural, I ship Destiel. That would be Castiel and Dean Winchester. That's just my personal ship. Everybody ships different things, but that's what I've been shipping for a very long time. So I'll go in and I'll read Destiel fanfic. And it'll be normal fanfic. It goes to smutty fanfic. It goes to really sad and depressing fanfic. And I'll read all of it. And then I take it even a step further and write fanfic. It's kind of ridiculous. And I think a lot of people do this, but at my age, it's unusual. So people around my age, my friends, don't really understand what's going on when I'm talking about fanfic and the headcanons and things that are going on that aren't on the show. I have friends who watch Supernatural and I talk about Destiel and they're like, what are you talking about? Dean's straight. He's always dated girls. I mean, it'd be okay if he was gay, but the shows kind of make it pretty clear that he's straight. And that's not my opinion because I read into the show and then I read into the theories online and then I read the fanfic and it completely skews the way that I see the show, and every little hand gesture, every touch, every glance is a completely different thing. And it's not that that's a bad thing, it's just that it does become my life to where I will sit and I will rewatch panels online over and over and over again. I don't even watch TV anymore. I only watch YouTube. And it's kind of ridiculous. And my newest one would be Dan and Phil. I started liking Dan and Phil 2 months ago. Only 2 months ago. And I have already watched every single one of their videos, every single of their collab videos on their channels and other channels. I've seen it all. I've seen the unlisted videos. I've seen everything there is to see. And some things I stumbled upon on accident that I didn't necessarily want to see, but I didn't realize I shouldn't be watching it, and I did, and only learned afterwards, but it's kind of crazy because I go through this with everything, and like I said, I was obsessed with Supernatural, and then it switched to Dan and Phil. So I still love Supernatural, and I still watch the things from Supernatural, but now the obsession part has switched to Dan and Phil, and I watch Dan and Phil 24/7, and it's all I do is watch Dan and Phil videos. Even though I've watched them over and over and over again, I now know the words to multiple videos, all of the Phil's Not on Fire videos, I know every word to. And this is only within the last 2 months that I've become this deep into the Dan and Phil fandom. There are people that have been in the fandom for years that I've talked to that I know some things that they don't, or some videos that they don't. And it's kind of weird to be talking to someone who's been in this fandom for 2 or 3 years. And I'm like, oh, have you seen the so-and-so video that they did with whatever? Or have you seen the video that somebody filmed of them out and about and whatever? And they're like, no, I never knew that existed. And that's just how deep this obsession goes. And then I start just slipping references of these shows and these YouTubers and things into everyday life. So every conversation I have, I start to find a way to bring them into the conversation. And people do that with their boyfriends, with their new boyfriends, the new girlfriends. They're so happy and excited to have them that they start to kind of like, oh, yeah, you know, my boyfriend does that. Or, you know, yeah, one time my boyfriend did this and this and this. I do that with my obsessions. So I'll be talking to someone and they say something. And I'm like, oh, yeah, there was one time that Phil, you know, he went on this thing. And people immediately go from like, you're talking about Dan and Phil again. It's ridiculous. I know I'm annoying people. I know that they're rolling their eyes and they don't want to talk about it because they're not interested in it. But I keep going. I keep talking about it. I keep showing people videos when they've said that they don't care for Dan and Phil or they don't care for Supernatural, and I'll still show them little clips, little videos, little fan-made videos. It's ridiculous. I don't even know how to control myself anymore. And it goes like this. It'll switch from one thing to the other, and it lasts months at a time. But it's it does hand off to each other that I do still love Supernatural, and I do still watch Supernatural, and I do still look up the stuff online, but my life does not revolve around Supernatural right now. Right now, my life revolves around Dan and Phil. And I sat online and I waited for that time to go down. I set my alarm to buy the Tatanoff tickets, and I've never done that before. I've been looking for a way to get to a Supernatural convention for years, and I never had the money. I spent part of my rent money to buy my ticket to meet Dan and Phil, okay? That's when it's getting dangerous, when you're starting to spend money that you don't have on these things. And I don't know how to stop. Please help me, because I don't know how to stop. I love that I am so passionate about these kind of things. It's great to be passionate about something. But when it starts to take over your life like this, it becomes kind of difficult because, like I said before, you start comparing real people to these people, and it becomes a complete social barrier in your life because everything reverts back to that obsession, and every person you compare to that obsession, and it's getting out of hand. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. I know some of you guys feel the same way and deal with the same things. I'm curious to see if anybody more closer to my age, I'm 26, does deal with these things, because most people I've met that do deal with them are younger and it's not as big of an issue. But when you're an adult and you live on your own and you have bills to pay and you're spending your bill money on tickets to meet these people, it becomes a problem. So let me know down below what you think, and if you feel the same way, if you have the same issues. Can you just like something, like just like it like normal, or do you have to obsess over it like I do? Because with me, it's one or the other. I either obsessively love it or I hate it. There is no in between. I have no, no. It's obsessed or hate. So let me know what you think and how you feel, and if you have the same thing or if you can just like things like a normal person. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye.